The last time you and I talked, you said, I regret going that day, and that if I could have, I would have never gone to Washington, D.C.
Yeah, no.
Did you mean that?
No, I didn't mean it.
You didn't mean it?
Absolutely not. I'll go again 100%.
You would?
Yes.
Pal, what's going on?
Look, they feel emboldened. They feel empowered. And someone like Gabriel Garcia, also who is friends with Enrique Tarrio, of course, the former chairman of the Proud Boys. And I have to note, both of them specifically want to now be called as current members of the Proud Boys. And so I think in a place like Miami, which is where we shot that interview, they're literally being welcomed and seen as heroes, right? Not just as these political prisoners that were just released, but I think in a place like Miami-Dade County, which is where they are, they're specifically seen as these anti-communist heroes. I think the danger there is that it validates the very reason why people like Gabriel Garcia or Enrique Tarrio initially sort of were associated with January 6th. Because both of those men were really driven by this belief that the Capitol was being taken over by a communist regime. And so to now have them released just validates the very same and dangerous paranoia that drove them there. And so it was pretty remarkable to see how they are now being seen as heroes in Trump's America.
I see many ties between this and the immigration stories that you have been reporting on, including the breaking news that we have. I mean, on one hand, you have Donald Trump talking about the criminality of immigrants in this country, when in reality, he just pardoned 1,500 convicted criminals. You also have the fact that, as you just said, he deputized these folks to go to the Capitol, and now he's deputizing folks in the DOJ and elsewhere to be in charge of immigration. Talk to me about that deputization.
Yeah, I mean, I think the heart of Trump's plan is to deputize his militia, his supporters, local law enforcement, DHS in this specific example, to carry out his mass deportation plans. But I think to your point, the through line between these January 6th defendants and what's going on at the border is that over half of this country's population believes that there's an invasion at the southern border. And they inherently believe that undocumented immigrants are criminals. And everything is on the table to justify every single plan, whether that means that releasing people like Gabriel Garcia or Enrique Tarrio calls for a safer America. That idea of an invasion at the southern border justifies every single action. And another thing that I always think about is so many of the folks that went to January 6th were driven by one specific thing, and that is also the great replacement theory, right? One of the through lines of the majority of those people, and the University of Chicago did an incredible story, and they found that overwhelmingly, the majority of